Hey guys, welcome back to my unedited channel. I wanted to talk to you guys today about several things, but mostly about the situation on WRIGHT and SIENNA MAE, but we're gonna get to that. I just want to let you guys know that I don't know why they're always making these car sounds whenever I start talking, but let's keep going. So first of all, let me tell you guys that I retested for my PCR and I'm still positive. So here I still am, but hopefully this week I'll test again and I might get a negative and then be able to be released into the wild once more. But until that happens, let's talk about the situation between WRIGHT and SIENNA MAE. Before I start that, I want to give you who's watching me, a small little, caution. I forgot the word now because English is my second language. Yay. But I just want to make sure that you understand that I am not taking sides and it's going to make sense eventually, because this video is not about themselves, and you will understand what I'm saying, but this video is actually about you. You who are watching, this video is gonna be about you, not them. Well, in a way, but I just wanna make you understand or try to transpire to you that I'm not here to take sides either for SIENNA or for WRIGHT. And again, it will make sense soon. I intentionally didn't want to watch all of the tea videos about it. I did watch Timimi, I did watch Anna Oop, and I watched Rapzilla about it, so I could sort of know about the situation somewhat in a surface level, but I did not want to go back and forth on he did this, she did that, he did this, she did that, because we are all very aware of the fact that things are very different when the person who has been the V-word is a male rather than a female. Now, before I start talking about this, I want you to forget their genders and think about the situation as if it was you. Why am I saying that? All right, so I have made videos on Zoe Laverne in the past, and you probably have watched it if you've been with me for a while. And it was also the same situation. The alleged perpetrator was a female. And if you watch Ready to Glare, you pretty much already aware of the fact that when the female is the one who is in that side of the coin, things are a lot weirder and more forgiven than when it's the guy. So forget about their genders, but I want to tell you guys a story, and I'm not gonna make this about myself because I have a point with my story, and we're gonna get to it by the end of the video. All right, so as you know, I'm from Brazil. And most of my life here in the US, I did bartending, table waitressing, bottle servicing in nightclubs and things like that. One very dark side of bartending that a lot of people do not know is that many of the bars that you work at, depending on the kind of bar, but mostly when you work at a sports bar, not a chain sports bar, but like a dive bar or something more of like a smaller bar, you will have the owners or the management or even other bartenders wanting you to drink with the customer. I am not a huge drinker. I literally drink Malibu and Diet Coke all day. You give me whiskey, you will know what happens because this story involves whiskey. You give me vodka, I will get drunk, wasted in 2.5 seconds, maybe one shot or two, I'm gone. You give me wine, I have a headache, and so on and so forth. So the only thing I can drink and still have a resemblance of a human being is Malibu. So with that, I will tell you my story. I was bartending with this Irishman who was the other bartender, and his name doesn't matter. But you know what? A shot o'clock. That's what they used to say at the bar that I used to work. And therefore, I was drinking shots after shots after shots with this Irish person who obviously could handle his whiskey. And I can't. I can't handle no whiskey. I got into work at 5 something, and by 9 p.m., I was wasted. I was throwing up in the basement, and I'm so sorry for being so visual or giving you that picture. I did not know anything about life. I don't even know how I got to the bar's basement to be puking there. So one of the managers got my phone and called one of my friends to pick me up. And at that time, I had a very close niche of 4 to 5 friends who were like gamers. We used to play World of Warcraft and League of Legends, and we used to gather in my house and play Rock Band. And it was this one boy, and then a couple, a girl and a boy, and then another boy, and some other randos. So the main story here is going to be around the first boy and the couple. The couple, I'm going to make up their names, is going to be Emily and, I don't know, Miguel. Miguel and Emily were a couple, and I've known Miguel from Brazil since I was 14 years old. And at this time, I was in my 20s. So I've known this kid for over a decade. He met Emily here in the US when he came here, and he was with her for about 5 years. So I've known them for a pretty good while. The first boy that I mentioned, his name was Jonathan, and Jonathan was best friends with Miguel. They met in high school when Miguel first came here, and they became very good friends, so they were attached to the hip. And I was part of the group because I've known Miguel from Brazil. So when I got here, you know, I reconnected with Miguel. And unfortunately, Miguel was an ex-boyfriend from my childhood. Therefore, Emily was friendly with me. But until this happened, I did not know to what extent she actually had something against me. But that, I rather believe that that's not why this reaction happened. But they called Jonathan to pick me up. And as I said, I've known these kids from between 5 to 10 years, right? A long, long time. And I had no romantic relationship, especially with Jonathan. Jonathan was not my type. I had no interest in Jonathan whatsoever. And I had never, ever let Jonathan think that I wanted anything with him. Jonathan came over to the bar, he picked me up, he put me in a cab, and he brought me to my house. All I remember was getting to my house, I don't know how, because Jonathan brought me, and I remember going to bed, and I remember Jonathan laying down next to me. What happened after that, I will let you imagine, but you're probably right with whatever you're thinking. After that, Jonathan stood up, went to the kitchen or whatever, and I kind of sobered up a little bit. And I was like, okay. And I had a boyfriend at the time. So I was like, oh my God, I just cheated on my boyfriend. And I was so very nervous because I was like, holy moly, how I could have done this. Like, I'm a jerk, you know, and I was blaming myself for having done what I did with Jonathan, but I just blamed myself. Once Jonathan left, my roommate sat with me and she told me, what happened? And I told her what happened, and I told her like, I'm a jerk. I just cheated on my boyfriend. And she said, I don't know. I saw you when you came in, and I don't think you could have given any kind of consent to what happened. And I think that what actually happened to you was a R word. And once she said that, I didn't even consider that that's what had happened. I just thought that I was the jerk, that because I was drunk, I acted on impulse and I did something with someone having a boyfriend, when actually, as I remember, I couldn't even walk. And when she said that, I was like, yo, that is right. I could barely walk. I don't even know how I got home. I don't even know how I got on my bed. I couldn't have had the strength to, or the mental ability to make that decision. And him, as a alleged friend of a couple of years, who knew that I had no interest in him, should not have had the gall to lay down on my bed with me, because I have never laid down in any bed or a couch with him. So after that happened, I called my boyfriend at the time and I told him about it, and he agreed that is what actually happened to me. However, because at that time I did not have a green card or a citizenship to this country, I was too afraid to go to the authorities. And again, I felt like if I told the authorities I was too drunk and this happened, they would have thought like I did, that I just made a bad decision while drunk, and now that I'm sober, I'm regretting it, and that's it. Like, so it was a accumulation of the fact that I had been a out of status person in the country who probably could have been, I don't know, deported. I didn't want to get in trouble with the law for being R word from a American citizen. So I just let go of it. I worked through whatever I worked through and forget about it and just shut it down. I only spoke about it maybe twice or 3 times in my life to my boyfriend, the boyfriend at the time, my former boyfriend knows this, and Miguel and Emily. When I called Miguel and Emily, it was a couple of days after this happened, and my roommate made me realize that what happened was not me cheating on my boyfriend at the time. And I needed to talk to somebody from the group. I'm sorry, I think I burped. But I decided to call Miguel and Emily. And what actually happened when I told them about it was the single most disgusting thing that I can ever describe to you guys. And to this day, I feel like both of them, even though I have love in my heart for them because they were in my life for so many years, it was the most disgusting thing. When I told them what had happened, they both were in Jonathan's side. They told me that the one thing that I was afraid of the police telling me, that I just made a bad decision while drunk and now I was making some drama because I was toxic. And I feel guilty to think about that, maybe because I dated Miguel when I was 14 years old. So 10 years. Well, he met her 2 years later, but at this point it's been 10 years that I haven't dated him. That she held that jealousy against me, and she waited for a moment like this to cut me out of their lives. And that's a very sad thing, because I was a viewer of their friend, and they took his side. And not only that, they called me dramatic. They told me that I just regretted making a bad decision. And I never spoke to them again. They just said, you know what? We shouldn't have a friendship. You are just too toxic. We don't want you in our lives. They also have a YouTube channel. I've been cordial with them. I've spoken to them maybe once or twice ever since, and it's been maybe 7 years this happened. But they just took his side, never spoke to me again, and I was blamed for what happened because they took his side. Now, I am not telling you guys this story because I want to make this situation about me, but I've been wanting to tell you guys this story for a long time, ever since the Zoe Laverne thing. Why? I know that I am the female, and I am the person who was the viewer to what happened, and generally the population tend to be more forgiving when the female is the one who's being attacked. And the Zoe Laverne situation, she was the attacker, and on this TikTokers, I forgot their names, so let me look it up on my computer. SIENNA MAE and Jack Wright. So SIENNA MAE is also the perpetrator allegedly on the situation. Now, here's the reason why I'm telling you guys this. When I was watching the Timimi's video today, she mentioned, and I'm going to link all the videos that I have watched, and as I said, it doesn't really matter the reasons or the truth or the lies or whatever is happening in the situation, because this video is about you. And here's why, right? I was watching the Timimi video, and I noticed that she posted a lot of public comments from people who watch these videos, who are you and I, who are sitting in our house watching the YouTube video about the situation, and they're replying with, he is not even that cute, he should be glad that this attractive girl likes him, things of that nature. Now, I want you to sit there and imagine for a second, if you are a female or a male, you who are watching me right now, have you ever felt uncomfortable around somebody who really liked you, and you thought they were a good friend, and you just didn't want to hurt their feelings, but you also didn't know how to tell them, get away from me, right? Have you ever gone through that? Because if you have, you probably might be able to sympathize with him. I didn't know this kid liked me. I didn't know this kid was going to take advantage of me whenever he got a chance. Maybe he was thinking that I wanted it too. But I think that he told himself that I wanted it too because I was drunk. And in this situation of these two, regardless of her thinking that they were hooking up in the background, because one of the things that I heard was that, oh yeah, I used to hook up with him and he just didn't make it public, and now his friends are making this big deal. It doesn't matter. If the guy doesn't make it public, it's because he doesn't want you to be his public relationship. And maybe he didn't want to be her relationship at all, and she was pushing him. Or maybe he was leading her on and he was done with her and he decided to discard her, and out of anger, his friends because she was pushing, you know, did something to her, and she might be the V person here, right? Regardless of who the V person is here, what I want to tell you guys is this: it's unacceptable that us as viewers, as people who are not involved, actually a part of it, to tell publicly he should have been happy that his adorable girl, sexy girl, or attractive girl wants to be with him, or he was asking for it. If you watch the video, I'm going to link down below. It's disgusting, because if you think that it was the roles reversed, nobody would have said this female was asking for it. I mean, you could see one or two people say that, but it would be highly backlashed by society, because we have been already kind of sensitized to, I don't know the best word to say it, but we already know that there's a lot more. I'm sorry, I'm gonna lower it because I had to sit, my legs are dying. But there's a lot more, not acceptance, but people take, when the female is the one in that position, people do not take it kindly. And just because it's a male, it does not mean he was asking for it. It does not mean that he should be glad. And if that's how you think about it, just keep it to yourself. And again, I'm not here to tell you to take sides. You believe whoever you believe. I wasn't there. I have not researched on the situation enough to tell you who I think is lying or telling the truth, especially because I'm a human and I can make mistakes, and I have made mistakes. If you watch my videos, you have seen me taking sides that later on were not actually the side that I should have taken, right? Because I got into this headspace where I needed to judge one side and talk smack about the other side. But in this situation, because it has happened to me, I don't care if the person who was on the bottom was a male or a female. The feeling is the same. They did not want this to happen. And regardless if they're lying or telling the truth, it's not our place to judge. And if we want to judge, let's do it in our heads. Because you know what? By publicly writing things that people are writing about him, saying that he should be glad that an attractive girl likes him, that he should feel lucky, it makes me feel like what happened to me when I told my friends that it happened to me, and they were like, well, it's your fault. You were the problem. We don't want to talk to you anymore. That's kind of like how you could have been making this kid feel, that maybe it's his fault. And that's not helpful, especially for society, especially for males, because this does happen to males. And you know what happens? When a boy sees, when your son, when your grandchild, when your brother, or when you, if you were a minor or just a male, sees how society reacts to the male gender, when they are on that side of the coin, that's what make men, boys, kids not come out and tell people what's going on to them. So if you believe Sienna, by all means, stay following her on TikTok, because I think that those are TikTokers. I never seen them on YouTube before. I just heard about this yesterday. Just keep following her. Tell her how much you love her, how much you believe her on her TikTok. And do not speak the name of the other person. Just say, I think you're a good person. Whatever you want to tell her. That's between you and her. If she even cares. Because to you, to her, you are a number. I'm not going to lie to you because it's not that she doesn't care about her fans. I'm sure, because I care about the people that follow me. But at a certain amount of following that you got, like these people with millions of followers, you're not only just a number. Even if she cares about you, she is unable to have a relationship with each and every single one of you because just too many people. So chances are the majority are just numbers. But if you believe her, follow her, unfollow him, and be happy. And if you believe him, follow him, unfollow her, and also be happy. Do not go to either of their pages or either of these Facebook or YouTube videos and say hurtful things about either of them, because we don't know who did what. Although I will always be inclined to believe that the person who was taken advantage of allegedly should have the benefit of the doubt, because I made this mistake before. And if you've been following me for a while, you know about this with the James Charles situation and that boy. So I promised myself that I'm going to give the V person the benefit of the doubt. But I'm not going to be talking smack about her right now. Because in the end of the day, he needs to get help from authorities. They're both allegedly 18 years old based on the videos that I've seen. And if this is actually happening, and he's actually serious about his trauma, he should look for help from the authorities. Because the court of public opinion is not gonna bring him justice. And our hurtful words towards him or her are not going to make justice for him. So we should, if you believe him, encourage him to seek help, encourage him to seek the authorities so he can get the relief that he needs to be whole again. And if you believe her, stop talking shit about him. Unfollow him, follow her, and go live your life. Because none of us were in there. None of us were in the bedroom. None of us were his blood alcohol level. None of us know exactly what the situation is. We are given snippets of what the situation is. And with the information that you've been given, make your judgment and keep it to yourself. Just keep your sides by unfollowing one and keep following the other. But don't say hurtful things to them. And as I said, I am not taking sides. I am not trying to say to you, oh yeah, I believe this person or I believe that person. I'm not taking sides. But I am livid about the fact that people are saying these horrible things about this boy. And I've been there. I've been crying on the phone to people who I thought were my friends. And I was just told that my abuser was a better friend. That they were okay with what he did. That I was the toxic one. That I probably just regret it because I was drunk. So let's not judge him. All right? Let's not. Just take your side. Follow whoever you agree with and let them deal with it. And I know that some of you are going to come to the comments and say like, well, they shouldn't have brought online. And to that, I can't say much, but from what I understand, whoever exposed this was not even the boy. it was his friend or something. And please correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong because, as I said, I didn't want to research on it because I didn't want to take sides. But as far as I understand, Jack's friend posted online. So his friend took it upon himself to try to help him. And then again, it's not my place to judge if his friend made a mistake or not, because look at the shit show that it is right now. But all I can ask of you is, please do not add to his trauma, because you're not only judging him, you're not only making him feel like he's not taken seriously, you're also making every single boy and man out there feel like that's what they gonna get if they come out and tell someone that they need help for this kind of situation. And I'm so sorry, you guys. I had to tell you guys my story. I really didn't want to make it about myself. But what you guys are doing, it's just like that friend that you look for help, because some of these influencers look at you as their family. And seeing people like you who they may think it as numbers, but some of your opinions hurt. And some of you may be with them for a long time. I have so many of you who I know by name. I know Justin Graves, I know like just here for the tea, you know, and just to name a couple of people who actually talk to me a lot. But I've known by name since I started my channel at least 12, 13, maybe 50 of you who, when you message me, I know exactly who you are because I know you're here. And some of you who are writing these hurtful things about this boy, maybe at one point followed him and he might recognize your name and that might be hurtful to him. Or maybe he won't recognize your name and you were just a number. But still, a broken arm or a broken heart doesn't matter. Pain is pain. Even if he doesn't know you, if he's going through a traumatizing moment in his life, you're just adding to it. Don't add to it. Let him deal with it. Hopefully he will go to authorities. Hopefully this is going to like get resolved, which we all know it probably won't. Look at Zoe Laverne. But let's just not contribute to adding to someone's trauma. That's all I ask of you. And again, I'm sorry, it's another unedited video. If you can, please like this video because I really do want more people to watch this. These influencers are huge and they have a huge following. And I just feel like this is so unfair, mostly to the boy, but to both of them because we don't really know the truth. And it's not our place to judge them right now. She might be right, she might be wrong, he might be right, he might be wrong. Right now, without the details and without any proof, alleged proof, because there are videos online, I will side with him. Because I try to judge people by their character before, and I was wrong. So based on the amount of proof that is out there, I'm just going to side with him, and for the fact that he was, or his friends try to help him, and he was courageous enough to finally post a video about it. And I'm going to put all of the videos that I've known of down below in the comments. I haven't watched his video. I'm going to watch after I post this for you guys. But press the like button so this video can be pushed throughout YouTube so more people can see this. And I try to convince more of you to don't add to his trauma. Okay? Pain is pain. Regardless of his gender. Regardless of, I don't know, he's a boy, he's 18. He's probably a jerk. Most teenagers are. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve to be doubted and ashamed for something that we don't know if it really happened to him, because if it did happen to him, it's an awful thing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry this video is so negative, but I really wanted to come out and try to see if I can get you guys to, you know, to think about what you're saying out there. And if you're not saying anything, you're just finding out about this right now, congratulations, you're not a jerk. Don't start. Thank you so much, you guys. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Hope you subscribe. If you don't, I'll see you again later. But I miss you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.